listeners, Harika here, and I'm super excited to welcome you to UppTalk. If you're ready to learn and get your hands work wonders in the world of information technology, then you're in the right place. When I say UppTalk, we are not just another edtech company. Consider we are your learning partner committed to unlocking your full potential. Whether you're stepping into the world of technology for the first time or looking to advance your career, we provide top-tier, hands-on courses to build up your career. Let's take our first step towards learning here and explore it.
Workday payroll process consists of a sequence of steps which include first one is run pay calculation. We will discuss in detail about each option. Second one is run pay counting and run pay complete. And later implement. And to manage and maintain, or if you don't need any challenges, errors, issues. We also should know how to bring the pay results back. Reverse. First, let's talk about cancellations, reversals. We will discuss which is run pay, cancel, pay, run complete. Addition to this, we will also discuss manual payroll run and automatic payroll run. Let's discuss in detail. Once we set up the payroll basic framework and once we create certain earnings and deductions, we have to proceed for testing. Testing, in a sense, whether the earnings are correctly working and calculating for all the employees as per the design or not. Calculating accurately or not. The deductions are deducting, as per the requirement or not. How we will go on and check through the payroll process. Not only that, we want to finalize the pay results. If you want to run if you want to run that similar to payroll, we will use this payroll process. The first task in a payroll process is run pay calculation. What do you mean by run pay calculation? Run pay calculation is a kind of a simulation. Simulation, here we are going to check whether the payroll has been successfully. We are able to run the payroll successfully, or is there any errors with the employee records? Is there any errors with the employee records, or is there any employee pay results are pending for the previous pay period, or is there any employees on hold? Everything we will track in the first step, which is called run pay calculation. Let me repeat. Run pay calculation is to run the payroll. To run the payroll for group of employees. Also to run the payroll for particular events. Example, compensation changes, benefit changes. Also to run the payroll for the employees on hold. I will explain in detail. Whenever we're going to run the pay calculations, we have to ask two questions to the customer. Question 1, for whom we are running the payroll. For whom we are running the payroll. This answer will give the pay group whether we are running the payroll for monthly paid employees, weekly paid employees, bi-weekly paid employees, semi-monthly paid employees. And then for which pay frequency you are running the payroll. For which pay frequency you are running the payroll. The two parameters here is one is pay group for whom we are running. Another one is for which pay period you are running the payroll. Get the two parameters where to enter. Let's see on the screen. Access the task run pay calculation. First step. This is how the page looks. Page looks run pay. We are in remote mode. That's why it's looking a little shrink. If you see the parameters, pay period, for which pay period you are running the payroll. Another is for which pay group or pay run group you are running the payroll. These two parameters we have to enter. Then after we have to choose criteria. Now let's see for which pay period you are running the payroll. Select this prompt. Here Workday will list out all the pay groups to be run or which are already in progress. We can see those results here. You can directly go to the periods to calculate, pay periods to calculate. Or you can navigate from the pay group. For example, I want to know USA semi-monthly admin regional. I want to run the payroll for this pay group. Which pay period we have to run automatically. The values will be available here. You can select this pay period and then automatically the pay group associated with this pay period. I hope you might remember whenever we are creating a pay group, we included run category. We included pay period. Correct. Since you select the pay period automatically, the available pay groups or pay run groups, you can find it here. This pay period is associated with this. Pay groups, for which pay group you want to run, or these three pay groups are grouped into one pay run group, which is semi-monthly. You can select the pay run group also. It's up to your requirement, but in real time we are going to create only pay groups, pay run groups. We are not going to create. Either your input value is pay group or pay run group. What is the difference? For example, we have semi-monthly employees. We have semi-monthly. At semi-monthly. Professionals. Semi-monthly. Corporates. Now each one is a different pay group. A semi-monthly admin is one pay group. Semi-monthly professionals pay one pay group. A semi-monthly corporates is one pay group. Would you like to run for each pay group separately, or would you like to run the end for all the pay groups in one go? If you would like to run the pay group, all the payroll process, if you want to run the payroll for all these three pay groups in one go, then you can choose the pay run group. Semi-monthly USA pay run group. When you select it, all the pay groups are grouped here. All these three pay groups, admin regional, professional corporate, professional regional, all these three pay groups are grouped into one pay run group. What is the advantage in one go? You are going to run the payroll for all the three pay groups at one stretch. But most of the customers, at least, like what other customers I have seen, are configured. They have a separate pay groups, monthly, weekly, semi-monthly, but they don't have anything like based on their management levels or nature of the business. I'm going to select pay group here, not pay run group. It was a semi-monthly admin region or even a semi-monthly professional corporate. A professional corporate. There are my parameters. Two parameters. I have entered frequency, which pay group I have running the payroll. Next is criteria. Who would you like to run the payroll? To whom you have to run this payroll. Smart calculation is Workday delivered one. What is meant by smart calculation? I don't know how many employees pay. Results are pending. I don't know how many employees compensation change has been initiated between these pay frequency from 1.1 to the 91. I don't know how many employees are terminated. I don't know how many employees has been promoted. I don't know how many employees benefits has been removed or added. In this situation, I'm asking Workday you do the calculation, smart calculation, which means calculate all the events. I'm not restricted to any event. Run for all the events, run for retro, run for compensation changes, run for benefits. To make it simple, all the employees are on the payroll. Workday will decide. Workday will include all these details. Our next option is smart calculation. What do you mean by smart calculation? This is really very helpful at the time of testing event. In this particular pay frequency, assume we are going to run the payroll for 100 employees. 100 employees. We are going to run the payroll based on this pay group. But compensation changes have been initiated for 25 employees. Now I want to run the payroll only for the employees whosever compensation change has been impacted. Whosever has compensation changes. I will set the event, which means out of 100 employees. I'm running the payroll only for the employees who has a compensation changes in this pay frequency. Not prior nor after. It's helpful for test because once you are sent a compensation and we will get an earning and then we have to see whether the details has been fetched into the payroll calculation engine or not. That details we can track here. Another one I want to know, or I want to calculate all payroll only for the employees who is recently promoted. Whenever do promotion absolutely, the benefits compensation will be impacted. I will select that event, job change. Or I want to run the payroll only for the employees whose payroll input has been processing. I will select payroll input. Like that. We have worked here delivered events. You can select one of the events and you can run the payroll only for particular event. But please remember one point when you choose on the events here, which means you are running the payroll only for the particular event. The employee worker history, the event must be available. Then only it will work. Then based on results, normally, regularly, frequency. We have 3 results. Not yet started. Not yet started. Which means the payroll has been not started at all. In progress, which means the payroll is currently already initiated, which is in progress. Error, which means payroll has been initiated, but some of the employees has run into an error. These are the 3 common status we can see. Apart from that, we do have retro pending on hold regularly. We are not going to use. Whenever it's a one sorry. The run pay calculation of does not finalize the payroll. No, it's not going to finalize the payroll. It's just a kind of a simulation to ensure all the employees in the pay group has been fetched by the pay calc engine or not. That's all. Let's see all the status. Select here existing status. If you select the, as I mentioned, in progress, not a started error request recalculation. But when you select all the status, you can see error. Hold in progress pending completion of retro request. Retro recalculation, request recalculation differences. Don't worry. I'm going to cover here. Same things here. I will explain. Or another one. This is really one of the good enhancement from Workday. Here is I want, let's say, in one pay group, we have total 100 employees. Same example, but I want to test only for 2 people whether the new hires we have hired new to 2 new people in this current pay frequency. I want to test whether the 2 new employees have been processing into the payroll or not. What I will do, I will search the workers here. Let me see who are all part of this pay group. Now let's see we have in this pay group currently 55 employees are there. Out of 55 employees are zoomed. There are new to new hires. Angela Morajan. What I do, I will just testing with the new employees has been pulled into the payroll calculation engine or not. I will select all those employees. Which means out of 55 people, we are running the payroll only for 2 people just to check whether the gross or nets are calculating or not. This one, please ignore. This is part of again accounting. I will explain once with the new feature has been added. I will tell you what exactly is maybe in the next session. Any questions for on pay period, pay group, parent group, or the criteria before we are moving to these values? When it says based on result status, that's the prior status. Based on the status by default. What happens here is mom by default. If your first time you run in the payroll, it will be not yet started. If you already initiated payroll currently, if you see here in progress, which means the status will be in progress. This is just a reporting purpose. It's not going to play any key role, just like what the current status of this pay group, professional corporate, which is in progress just for reporting, but it's not going to play any key role. Got. But typically you're just going to use smart calculation. Absolutely correct. True, because though we are a peer consultant, we must be aware and another other model, people that should be informed for us, with us. These many employees comp changes happen. These men employees benefit, change happened. These women employees have been promoted, demoted or transferred. We are the people who is always in the CC in all emails across all the modules. The best option always smart calculation. These are only for just for testing purpose. We're going to run the peel for entire population in the pay group. Always recommended is smart calc. Then, once you enter the pay period and pay group, currently someone is already initiated the sites in progress. I believe it's we only in the last session. Now here we have few more options. Let's discuss all these details. Here you can see pay groups to be processed. You can expand this also. This pay group we are processing is off cycle. I mean is a regular or off cycle and category on cycle or off cycle. On cycle action reason is not applicable. For on cycle action reason is applicable. Only. If you're reversing a pay result, give the reason why are you reversing. If you are doing correction to the pay result, give a reason why are you correcting adjustments. Those are nothing but action reason we will discuss in separate topic. We're talking about the complete regular payroll process adjustments, reversals, corrections that will pick up in the next upcoming session after completion of payroll process and then in progress. How many employees appeal currently is in progress? 50 employees. It has been in progress. Total number of employees is 54. What happens to one employee? One employee has request recalculation, which means whenever you see a request recalculation, there will be two things or three things. One employee in this pay frequency payroll is already initiated, and the payroll input has been assigned to this worker could be one reason. Second reason, payroll is already initiated. The first task is initiated. After initiating garnishment has been created. Or the third reason, employee on hold and employee has been released when the payroll is in progress. Either of the three reasons. You can see an employee under request, recalculation. When you select on the numeric here, you can see the worker at the just move. Any question? Let's talk about these reasons. In progress. Waiting means sometimes would keep employee on hold due to discipline action. Employee absconded employees, sabbatical leave. We are not going to run the pill for those employees in such cases. The employee status will be in waiting, request recalculation. Here you can see for whom we have to rerun the payroll pending completion means. This is a little tricky part. Let me explain. Pending completion means I have 54 employees in my pay group. I ran the payroll, 50 employees successfully processed for. Remaining for employees has lot of errors can be. They are not, the eligibility criteria is not met or the compensation details are not pulling into the. What are the reasons they are not able to run the payroll for 4 people? Now my question is, because of this, 4 employees in the pay group shall we hold? Can we hold the entire payroll process? No, we have to process it at least for the people who's a successful processing. We will process and then we'll select these employees manually. Somehow we will manage our experience scenario. That is the case. It will tell you here, hey, in this large pay frequency, these employees you have not processed the payroll or payroll has been initiated but not completed. This is the, if you see any employee means payroll has not been completed. Previous payroll has not been complete for the employee could be a reason. Error criteria on hold. Any of those in error is currently 0, but any chance if you see a number, something like 2, 3, 4, 5 or 54, which means those employees have errors. You have to resolve each and every employee by selecting here. We had to resolve the error. I will create intentionally few errors. We will work on it on hold. Sometimes on hold is nothing but skip the employee from the current payroll process. But this can pay frequency of 54 employees. We are processing the payroll by any chance you want to skip certain employees due to any reason. Some employees may go on sabbatical leave. 1 year. 2 years depends in the sabbatical leave. Company is not going to pay salary to their employees. What we will do, we'll keep the employee on hold, which means you are not running the payroll. One of the employee, a ex-candidate. You're not able to reach the employee through mobile, not any other communication. But you are not clear. The employee has resigned and not resigned. You want to wait for a month or at least one pay frequency to see where this employee will become back or not. Since the employee has absconded, you are not going to process the payroll for the worker. In that case, we have to keep this employee on hold. Let's see how to keep the employee on hold. We'll set one of the employee here. Anyhow, here we have the pay group open. I will go with Andrew Walton. I will go how to press employee on hold. Go to the employee pay tab. Pay result, related calculation magnifier. Go to the pay calc. Pay calc hold. Confirm. Now the employee pay calc status from in progress to it will change to on hold. Now come back here. Run the bill for the same pay frequency. Semi-monthly. I'm going to select Professional Corporate Semi-monthly. Hey Goop. Now when I set this, I just refresh. You can see the employee on hold. It means you're not running the bill for this employee. Well, they're not going to process the bill for this employee. Now let me delete this employee. How to release this employee? Same process. What to worker but ensure that employee, if you want to place on hold, the payroll should be in progress is a parallel successfully completed. You cannot keep this employee and forward. It up as results. They calc on hold. Let me repeat the same that this will should be become 0. Now my employee on hold, let's initiate the pay result. But initiate, which means we are running the payroll for all the employees in the pay group refresh until the status shows successfully completed. The process has been successfully completed. Scroll down. Let's see, is there an employee and hold error? No, total employee is 54. Process in progress employee. The number is matching. Like to see who are all those employees? Select on this export to Excel or directly select on the numeric. You can see the list of employees. You can see the word list of the employees. And export Excel. If you like to print the PDF, this is a great deal. And this is worksheet. Now we run the payroll. The first step has been successfully completed. There has been successfully completed the first step. Now, what happened when we initiate the payroll? What system exactly has been calculated? We can track those results under process history. Select this. I'm sorry, process information. Scroll down. No one will ask for an interview. Don't worry about this. And what happened exactly in the system? When you initiate the run pay calculation, is it identified the pay group? It will create the payroll, it identified and selected the employees, and it has been calculated or compared with the previous pay results. Validate the employee active status. Fetch the payroll inputs of applicable. Calculate the results. Where is the results? Remove former results after comparison or launch accounting. The request. Please go through these steps, not mandatory, just for your understanding what exactly happened on the screen. In this process. Any questions here? And also one more thing, sometimes what happened. Performance issues could be, internet could be. But there is not the term could. We can also see how much time has been taken for each second. It has been completed. You can also track the how much time to take. One of the rule here is if any pay group should complete at least within 60 minutes. If it is taking beyond 60 minutes, any idea what might be the reason? Let's say you initiate the step. We completed just 7 seconds. But if you take more than 1 hour, what might be the reason? It's the tenant. Tenant could be internet. Could be the tenant related issues, could be most logical calculations you might have created. There are several reasons. Make sure the payroll process must be completed in 1 hour. If it is not, raise a case with Workday saying that, hey, end day and time I initiated the payroll process. It has not been successfully completed within 60 minutes. What might be the reason? They will analyze and they will come back. Any questions on the first task? Let's move on. Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us sales@upptalk.com.